Are you tired of your favorite gaming podcast talking about E3? Well, look no more. This week on the House of Mario, we're talking about...
We're talking about E3.
Oh. Okay, I didn't say anything.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, episode 42, the Nintendo podcast, a part of the 8-Bit Collective. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Bryce DeWitt.
Yes, that's a me.
Bryce, yo. Bryce, it's a very special episode. We're going to be talking about our favourite E3 moments from throughout the history of Nintendo at E3.
Yes.
But first, we've got a very... well, it's not that special, but...
It's special to us.
It's special to us, yes. This is our 1 year anniversary of doing the show. And I guess the funny thing is, we're up to episode 42. So really, after a year, we should be up to 52. So we've missed out on 10 episodes.
Yes, that's sort of correct. There was some road bumps there, but, 42 episodes in a year is still pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Well, you consider the people that take time off for holidays and stuff like that, if you count the holidays throughout the year, and then you call it, like, with the fiasco that happened with me and my family back.
Yeah.
Then, 42 is still a good number.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Yes.
What are some of your favourite guests we've had on the show?
Favourite guests, all of them.
Yeah, I guess we shouldn't be.
I'm not favoritism towards them, because the thing is like with the guests that we've had, I think we've been very privileged, and I'm very grateful to every single one of them, whether they would be smaller guests or larger guests. It's been a privilege to have all of them on, because I've learnt unique things from them, learnt more about their respective communities, or and learned about them personally. So it's been really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good excuse just to talk to some people that you wouldn't bump into in everyday life.
Well, yeah. We've even talked to people that are well overseas,
Yeah.
Like Defer from Sweden, and then we had Michael in LA from Hot Chocolate Party.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, honestly.
Yeah, and friends of ours within Australia.
Friends of ours within Australia, whether it be within the arm's reach, or whether it be 4 hours down the road, or whether it be the other side of the country. We've had a bit of everyone around, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love doing the show. I just want to thank everyone that listens to it every week, or every fortnight, or every month, or whenever you get around to listening to it. Thank you very much.
Yep, sincerely from the bottom of my heart,
and mine,
and his, of course,
the top of my heart.
I'm pulling. I'm reaching into his chest right now. I'm pulling it out of his rib cage.
Oh God, that
hurt. Thank you guys so much. Even just looking at the stats and looking at the numbers go up, seeing that people actually want to listen to the show, it means a lot to us. And it's been one hell of a year, no matter the road bumps or, the changes that have happened within the show or anything like that. It's been fantastic, and we'll keep doing it as long as you keep listening.
Absolutely. It also means we have to pay the SoundCloud fees again, so that's...
Renew subscription!
Yes.
Hit that big bloody button.
The big button, the big give us money buttons. Okay, SoundCloud.
Take my cash, you bastards.
Yeah.
No, just kidding, SoundCloud. We love you. Please love us back.
Yeah, I like SoundCloud. It's a good service.
Yeah, well, it's a good service.
If you're listening to us on iTunes, the podcast is hosted on SoundCloud. So go over there, give us a whatever the hell you do on SoundCloud. A love, a follow.
If you're on SoundCloud.
Yeah. And that's where we get all the remixes from. So there's heaps of awesome artists on there as well.
It's it was a bit of a scare there with it almost shutting down on us and having to find something new. But I'm glad it hasn't.
I think Spotify bought them.
Did they? I
think they did. I heard that somewhere. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. A lot of podcasts are going up on Spotify now too.
Yeah.
Which is, that's not a bad thing.
It's a bit more of a process getting it on Spotify.
Oh yeah, and you've got to have a bit of a connection.
Yeah, because Eric, he uses Lipson, and there's literally a little tick button you press, and he said it just put him on Spotify. Whereas
Really?
on SoundCloud, we've got to actually go right. I had to write an email, like I felt like a little survey to like just try and get on there, and they've got to like manually sort through and go, okay,
Really?
yeah,
That's really strange.
it is weird,
Oh well.
but they're selective, and we haven't been selected yet, but we'll get there. Once we're there,
We'll be selected and be one of the
One
the
of the-
elite Spotify guys.
we'll be up there with Eric.
Yeah, Eric gets to tick a box. We have to fill out a form. God damn it, Eric.
Yeah.
We love you though, so it's fine. I guess.
All right, Bryce. Let's move into our favorite E3 Nintendo moments. Bryce, what's your first one?
What, the first one.
The
The first one is pretty much the entirety of the Robot Chicken E3.
That was great.
It
wonderful.
was a fantastic E3.
And that was also when we were worried, because that was when the news came out. So, all right, Nintendo's not doing a traditional E3 conference. Well, okay, no, it's going to be, their direct, which is good, but they're going to lose that big wow factor at E3. And I think what they did with the Robot Chicken episode was completely abolish those worries. And we were just like, this is way better. This is way better than their awkward, really, quite poor E3, especially the last few years where it's been a bit awkward.
There's stuff like Wii Music and all
Yeah.
that as well. Was
Then their last
and
one,
Skyward Sword. God.
and they're showing off when they were showing off all the big blowout for the Wii U 2012. Reggie's doing like the awkward thing with the gamepad with Zombie U. Just moments like that. It's like, oh my god, why? Why?
And I think the thing that gets me with this one though, apart from the fact that the format change was actually really worked in their favor. Apart from that, I think the thing that everyone will forever have ingrained in their minds was, "Where's Mother 3?"
Yeah, just they really knew their audience with when they wrote that script, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
just having the audience and they're like, "Where's Mother 3? Where's the new Star Fox games?" Like, oh, there's gonna be another Mario game, and they just like they just all the complaints. Like they must have been on 4chan or something.
I think I'd like to think that they're in the public eye a little more often than you think. I think, like, especially with the Nintendo store in New York and all that, and on the launch days and stuff like that, and they get questioned all the time, and it's one of those things, and they get emails and all that. They just know.
Yeah, they know. Yeah,
It's the same thing with like
how could they not?
they would know,
Yeah.
God damn it. They would know about like all their, even though it's not really in their hands, it's in Sakurai's, but they'd know all the complaints about Smash Bros, and they'd probably gag on that in the office as well. Not gag as in, but like,
Yeah. Actually, in the following year as well, we'll roll this into one, but when they did the Star Fox presentation with the Muppets guys, and they actually made puppets and all that of Miyamoto, Reggie, Iwata, and all the Star Fox team. That was really cool.
That was cool. That was cool. I think the best part of them presenting for E3 in this manner is that their creativity, like, it's just everywhere. Like on the immediate of it, even if it just looks like a very plain as hell direct, it still looks pretty phenomenal. They get through a lot of news really quickly. You brought this up previously, but like, there's no awkward, transitioning between things and stuff like that. There's probably some stuff in there that I missed, maybe, which is like the more orchestral stuff that sort of comes about, and that's really nice. But every conference is doing that now. It's not anything that's completely unique to Nintendo.
Yeah, I feel like Microsoft and Sony now, they've got their E3 presentations so well done. Like they don't necessarily have that anymore. Especially with Sony's, like they're like the last few years they've just been doing trailer, and they haven't been having these times when, executive marketing's come out to talk about how good a year bloody PlayStation's had. Like when us as consumers don't care about. I know E3 is also for retail partners and things like that, but it is nice just having, just game.
Yeah. I will say on their part, without sounding like too much of a one lopsided idiot,
A lopsided idiot.
Lopsided idiot. Lopsided towards Nintendo because they're my favourite out of the three. I watch every conference every year because I have an interest in every console. I own every single one of the current generation consoles. I buy games for them. That's just a thing that happens.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah.
If I ever have to hear about a freaking car that is going into Forza for another 15 minutes, I'm going to die.
Oh shit! You're gonna die.
I think that's what's caught me on with the Nintendo thing is because they cut out that kind of thing. They cut out all the glory sort of, this is a thing and this is how we're going to demonstrate it. It's just kind of like they put it in a presentation. It's way more clean. Things come off as they're supposed to. They're not gagging on about a car for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
It's just like when the car comes in, you're like, that's a goddamn good-looking car.
That's a nice car. But
then like 3 minutes later, you're like, all right, okay, all right, we get it. It's a very good-looking car.
It's a car I'll never have.
Especially when, like, for example, like Just Dance and Dance Central, when the Ubisoft and Microsoft would often bring out like the dances and even like EA Sports when they bring out famous athletes, like, hey, I'm in this game, it's good.
I could do a dance.
This is the physics engine for this year. So that's fantastic. But man, we get it.
Do I want to hear about the game and not you?
Like you've already sold the game to your audience. Just don't spend the millions on the big strong man that come out.
Yeah. I think it is glorification. They kind of just like, look at how special this is, and then you kind of just like, I mean, it's cool, but it's not really that special.
Yeah, just going back to this Robot Chicken E3, I remember, was it 2014? No, 2013, whatever year it was. Sorry, I can't remember. It just
one
off,
of the years.
off the bat of my head. It is one of those years, I think. 2014 was when Mario Kart and Smash Bros come out. Yeah, so it was 2014. Sorry for the long process in my head there. But that year, I remember watching Microsoft, Sony's, Ubisoft's, EA's, like all the conferences. We watched them all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end, I was just like, my eyes just took in that much brown and guns and like very similar looking games. And we're like, all right. Then it comes to Nintendo. It was 2:00 in the morning here in South Australia. And then it's Robot Chicken. It's funny. Like, it's actually like...
It was really good.
It's like watching a cartoon.
It was.
Then like all these... Like Zelda gets announced. Like Yoshi's Woolly World, like all these like wonderful looking games. You're like, oh my god, it was such a breath of fresh air, and especially with the Wii U going so poorly, and Nintendo fan morale is quite down, and that just filled me right up with so much hope and happiness. It really did.
The thing is like I don't think we're out of that puddle yet. I think it's still. We've maybe dropped the glorification of stuff like Call of Duty and Battlefield a bit more. They're getting announced in their own rights and they're doing their own thing this year, which is probably a really good thing. But a
lot of games seem to be doing that too, don't they?
I have a sorry. I have a lot of hope coming up this year. Because now that COD's out the way, Battlefield's out the way, hopefully we'll hear less about that type of thing there. I'd like to hear more stuff about Spider-Man and stuff like that. Come out of the woodwork, we get more information, sort of thing. And Spider-Man's not like a big, gritty game. It's a very beautiful looking Spider-Man 2 sequel. Absolutely. It looks really good.
Obviously not going to be on Switch, but that game looks awesome. I cannot wait for it.
It does look awesome, but like it's just the premise of it, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Hopefully this year is going to be more of an E3 that's more fruitful in the market of variety. I don't want to hear more about cars unless it's very short-winded, please.
I really want to see like a skit from Nintendo just being like, all right, new Mario Kart, and it's like But a car comes down, Reggie just slides across the bonnet and says, guess what's in Mario Kart? What?
Yeah, check out this Lambo, mate. It's in Mario Kart. We're going to talk about it for the next 20 minutes.
And I guess it's not that funny anymore because Mercedes already made it to Mario Kart via DLC. But
I have a lot of high hopes this year, and I know it's not going to be in the level because I don't think anything will ever beat that Robot Chicken E3 as an entire conference thing for Nintendo. Yeah. I think that was the absolute peak because they knew where the humor was at. They knew
it's just such a surprise as well.
It was.
We're like, I don't know what this is going to be, and it's just, especially when it first popped up, like, is this Robot Chicken?
Will we have Matt Groening animate the next E3?
Oh, could you imagine? Like,
it's just the shit that you could pull out your ass with that. There's so many cool concepts could be thrown around.
I really wish they kept like that style going. Now it's just like a normal direct, but obviously more grand in what they're announcing, which is fine. I enjoy that as well. But
yeah. Well, we'll see, I guess. But that's one of the things that takes off one of the top. It's literally the entire thing. It takes off like one of the spots on.
Imagine if it's just like an episode of Family Guy or something, and they're just like watching TV, and Peter's just like, "Oh my god, look, it's a new Smash Bros character," and like that's all it is. Then they do like the treehouse after, and they elaborate on it a bit more.
Yeah,
I mean, like, yeah, just weird.
It's just really cool when they work with people like that to create something that's just that awesome. Honestly. Next, we have the Smash 4 trailer,
which was 2013,
I believe so. Yes,
the year before. Yes.
Now,
So we knew this was going to come. They said beforehand that we're getting Smash, Mario Kart. These franchises were going to be shown at that year's E3, and we were just waiting for it, like little kids waiting for dinner time before going to bed. I don't know. I can't think of an analogy, but especially when that music started, it was on. It was like, yes, this is it. This is it.
Except apart from just the hype as we've been getting with the new Smash trailer, we also got something very, very interesting. And that was basically a death fight between Reggie and Iwata.
Oh. Yes, so that was the year afterwards. Yeah. That was one of the times where I'm like, Nintendo knows what their audience wants. I know, like a lot of people will be like, Nintendo, they don't understand online. They don't do a lot of things the fans want. But I think that trailer, a lot of people looking in to the Nintendo fan base will be like, what the fuck are they doing? This is just corny, dumb. But to us, who are just huge Nintendo fans, who are nerdy as hell and just love this stuff, that was exactly what I think we wanted. It's just ridiculous.
Hey, Greg. Yeah, mate. What if we put out a trailer where Reggie and Iwata beat on each other?
Well, don't phrase it
Fantastic. Like that. Beat on each other, not off.
Oh, Jesus. That's the trailer I don't want to see. No, but it was a perfect way to really show off the added me character, how you can put yourself in the game, and then especially show off the amiibo when Iwata just pulls it out of his pocket.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the highlights of that E3 too. It started off so well, and it just pushed on, and then after that, I'm pretty sure it was the same one. We were just waiting for more character announcements and stuff like that, and we got a couple of dollops in between.
Ooh, nice dollop.
Mm-hmm. We even got stuff like Wii Fit training.
Yeah, Wii Fit training. I wasn't too impressed with Wii Fit training at the start, but then I sort of got over it and went, that's fine.
Actually, we've done that a lot with Smash reveals, though. We've just been like, why is this character in the game? And then a lot of people like that as well, except on Smash forums and stuff, they just go insane about it.
I don't take to the internet. I'm just sitting there going, what?
I whenever there's a Smash game coming out, I've made it, or at least there's one announced, I've made it a game to go on to... A bit of a game to go on to... God, what's that Smash forum? There's this one really big Smash forum.
Smash forums? Smash Wiki?
No, I can't remember. I can't remember right now. It's like the competitive community forum, and they had for Smash 4, they had the character speculation and all that, and they're just like, oh, guys are going to announce the characters now. Let's get on this. And so many complaints that Ridley wasn't in the game, and it's just all the stuff you expect.
Just the typical stuff. Just
It's like every time Ridley is mentioned, take a shot, you'd be dead. It's crazy how much like you look there and you're just like, wow. Okay, I'm going to trust Sakurai on what he's doing, and we'll just let it go from there. And look, Wii Fit Trainer was a bit of a joke at first.
Yeah.
But Wii Fit Trainer is actually not that bad of a character, and I can't complain too much.
And it's still like it's just a funny character, like Game and Watch, and
yeah, it's literally the goof character.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
After thinking on it a bit, it's just like, instead of standing with the people that are just like, I would have preferred Ridley. I'm just kind of like, you know what? She's fun. She's fun in the game. But yeah, anyway, that was quite the E3, that one for us at least. Being the Smash people we are.
Yes, and it lived up to the hype too. So
It did.
Happy
absolutely.
about that.
So no doubt you've seen clips of this one online. It was, it happened. Jesus, it's over a decade now that this happened.
Yeah, it would have been one of Nintendo's biggest moments at E3.
Absolutely, like that crowd hype was ridiculous. But Twilight Princess in 2004, the announcement. So, a little bit of backstory, if you don't know your timelines, I guess, is that Wind Waker was put out on the GameCube, and people were just like, "Where's my gritty Zelda that you showed off in 2001 or whatever it was at the time?" You showed off a really gritty Zelda that looked like the successor to Ocarina of Time sort of thing, and then they didn't do it, and then they got to near the end of the GameCube's life and put that out, or about midway.
They used to call it Zelda, like to pay it out because it was cel shaded.
Yeah,
which is.
That's right. And now Wind Waker is one of the highest regarded Zeldas of all time. So that says something. But I think the thing with Twilight Princess is everybody was missing that feel they got from Ocarina of Time of grittiness and like a bit of a darker story, I guess.
Yeah.
And, in early 2000s, I guess that was all the rage. That was everybody was listening to, My Chemical Romance. But when Twilight Princess was shown, everybody they lost it. They thought it was fantastic. The crowd
bee's knees.
They just jumped up in the air and jumped in the sky with their hands in the air. They wouldn't stop and screaming, and you couldn't hear the trailer. You couldn't hear anything.
I don't blame him because it is an epic trailer as they announce it.
It's
just phenomenal. It's just Link riding Epona across Hyrule Field. It's just got the huge orchestrated soundtrack playing behind it. It's just awesome.
Much like the. In my opinion, I felt that way with the Breath of the Wild one, probably a bit more. Maybe because at the time it was just like, yes, it's a new Zelda. I love Zelda games as a kid. But Breath of the Wild, when we had it wasn't an E3 moment. It was at the press conference they had for the
Switch one. Yep.
The trailer for Breath of the Wild and that was beautiful.
So that was the launch trailer. So that was January last year.
That was, yeah.
That was a phenomenal trailer.
That was a beautiful trailer.
Just the way they worked in the music in that, it really, I felt it.
And the emotion.
I felt the emotion.
It was crazy.
Because the game looked good. Obviously, new Zelda game. We're going to buy a Switch regardless. We're just waiting for the price and the release date. That's what we wanted.
Yeah, that's what we wanted for that.
It's going to be a good Zelda game, open world. We're looking forward to it. But after that trailer, especially, we're like, yes.
Yeah, it looks so good. And now, like Breath of the Wild, it's melded deeply within my heart. I've spent so many hours on that game.
Just going back to must be. I'm forgetting between 2014 and 15. I think it was 14. But when they announced Breath of the Wild, they didn't announce it as Breath of the Wild, but it was just The Legend of Zelda for Wii U at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that trailer? That trailer was awesome as well.
That was, yeah.
When they just this is the world, and it looks like 2 times prettier in that trailer. It looks like honestly phenomenal. It's like this was never running on a Wii U.
No, this was running on a PC.
This was a very good PC.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we'll get there one day, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, and Link and Epona were just standing there, and then they just the trailer plays on, and he just flows on from there. And then it's got the Guardian chasing him down over the bridge, and Link jumps off, and you just see this big futuristic bow emerge. Like,
The arrow, yeah, the Sheikah arrow.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what's this? And all the speculation about, like, where in the timeline it's going to be.
And whether Link was male or female at that
yeah,
point.
but, oh, yes, right, because he, like, has the ponytail, and apparently men can't have ponytails.
Well, no, just the way he looked. I think
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
also his model was also a little bit different,
Mm.
and it made him look a little bit more feminine,
Yeah.
I guess. And then they changed it a little bit.
Link's also always been a little bit of a feminine character.
Feminine.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not coming out my mouth properly, but you know what I mean.
I mean, yes, I can agree to that, but I think that, and because I was stuck in that speculation as well, I was like, he looks a little more female than usual.
Mm.
But it was also that also, in my opinion, came down to the art style and stuff like that, sort of messing with the heads,
Yeah.
because it is to a degree cell shaded.
Oh, yeah.
But it was basically like, hey, here's like how you would see Link in Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess or anything like that. Now let's slap some cell shade on him and make him look like as he is. And then at the time, like, just the way Link looked, it was questionable.
I don't, like, especially a lot of Zelda games, you've been able to name Link, you've been able to, you haven't been able to customize much. You have been able to basically make Link your character.
Mm-hmm.
And if a lot of people thought, they might be able to give you an option between a male or female, be able to change your names. But they actually changed the complete opposite route, where you can't change the name of your character, and you are just Link.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This sounds really silly. But as I mentioned last week, I've been playing Horror Warriors.
Hmm.
I want to see side quests with Linkle as the main character. I actually do.
Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah,
I actually do. I know. There's a lot of people that aren't very accepting with Linkle as a character, and they're just like, no, I refuse to decide. She's got her own little story in Horror Warriors, and it's just like, it could be like their comedy bit thing. It's really cute.
Well, how would they do that? Well, like, you just like do a side quest and you're a different character. You're Linkle.
Well, yeah. Minus spoiler alert. Basically, she's just really ditzy. She's just really ditzy, and she's just like, "Why? My grandmother told me I'd be the hero of time," and she's just super ditzy. That is Linkle in a nutshell. She can't follow a map for shit, but she's always walking in the wrong direction.
Mm.
I think it'd be cool. It'd be like a little comedy side quest sort of thing where you play as her, and but seeing something like that in Zelda would be nice, and it would appease the people that are just like, you can have a female hero in Zelda, They're just like, oh, but then you get the people who are like, why can't Link be female and be the main character?
Depends on the story they're telling in the game, because in Breath of the Wild, it was a very specific role Link played as, like, Zelda's guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if they're telling a different story where it doesn't matter as much, you might be the swap, or maybe Link is a girl in a future game. I wouldn't be opposed to saying that at all.
No, not at all. But I think if you added something in like that into Zelda and put that, it's fun. It's nice. You get a female playable character in Zelda, and a little less people would complain about it. I think, as a bit of a silly concept of the name Linkle is, I think Linkle is a good character.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
so,
she's cool. She's cool, and she's
just interesting.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see something like that. Anyway, moving on, because we've pretty much talked about everything Zelda.
Yeah, just go into everything Zelda. Yeah.
100%. We've got Reggie reveals himself in 04.
Yeah, so this is Reggie's become the president. His first E3 2004 comes out. He's all about taking names, kicking ass.
Oh yeah,
and playing games.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, I just like butchered that quote very poorly, but
kicking ass, taking names, and playing video games.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He was, and he has continued to be a very what would the word for it be?
Prominent.
Yeah,
prominent
actually,
role in like Nintendo's E3 until right now,
and Nintendo in general. He's such a good president of the American side. Him and Iwata both did such brilliant jobs together between each other. Even just keeping fans updated and stuff like that of Nintendo stuff, and they're very likable people, especially Reggie. He's basically turned into a meme in several ways, but we'll talk about that a bit later. And I think, like, him coming out the way he did, he was very serious about being, pushing the company forward and doing all these neat things with Nintendo, and he's very well spoken. You know, he came out with a very strong voice, and I think that was what was really important. And that's what it was exciting to see, because really, how many of you remember what the NOA was like before then?
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
They didn't like it. I can't even name their previous president, but they were nowhere near as like in the fans' eyes, at least.
Yeah.
And it was a different time as well. Obviously, before 2004, you didn't have YouTube, Nintendo Directs, E3 like being streamed globally. Like, it's a completely different time. I think that equates to it a fair bit too. But yeah. Like Reggie, I like whenever you see him, you know you're gonna find out about a video game. So that's cool. He's
the type of guy that you can walk up to and you can talk to him, and you can just sort of tell he would treat you the same as he would anybody else. And he doesn't. I don't think that man has a malicious bone in his body. I think he's a very genuine dude, and he makes it very clear when he's doing anything from E3 presentations or anything like that. And he's always been a very good, very good host.
I like to think so. I like to think he's a good dude outside of selling us his products.
I think he is. I think he's a pretty nice dude, and like even he's so in touch with the YouTube community and stuff as well. Him and Bill Trinan at the moment are really killing it with the YouTube community.
They are, which is weird. Like, seeing how Nintendo as a whole has that really awkward stance on YouTube content where you getting copyrighted by them all the time. And
well, yeah, I think the main thing is that they still want to be in control of their content, but they don't want people to stop liking Nintendo or stop doing Nintendo content. I just think that they like to be in control of their asset.
Yeah,
I can't say that's a criminal thing. It was kind of BS when it first hit the scene, because it was such a touchy subject. A lot of creators were going through their own hard times and stuff like that. It was going to hit a lot of Nintendo creators really hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you look at videos like he's been on Game Theory on YouTube, where him and Matt Pat had a battle on will Nintendo survive as a hardware company, or more recently, even up until now, Gerard the Completionist. He put out a video that was a 32-hour Hyrule Warriors challenge where he had to beat the entire story and the Terminator challenge map on Hyrule Warriors before he got to Nintendo headquarters via train, which was a 32-hour trip. Yeah. And if he lost, he had to put on a Tingle outfit. Well, he lost. He lost by the skin of his teeth, so he had to wear that Tingle outfit.
Yeah, there's just so much. He did so well. He's absolutely smashed out like heaps of the game, but he still didn't finish like the little optional like DLC that was included.
Yeah. If that says anything about Hyrule Warriors, it says how much he's already completed it before. He already knows how to deal with every single situation and stuff like that. And he's played enough of that game. He played over 300 hours on the original Wii U version alone. That's not including the 3DS version. So, like, Bill Trinan gave him the challenge, and he accepted upon it, and then he ended up in Nintendo headquarters on their couch talking to Bill Trinan in a Tingle costume. It was fantastic,
as you do, yeah.
But I think I know Mr. Iwata is gone now, and but between Bill and Reggie, they're both pretty prominent with that type of thing, which is fantastic. It just shows that like they're willing to talk to people who aren't just other business execs or putting out trailers or anything like that, or just completely disconnected from their audience. They're still within them.
I think that's rubbed off on especially PlayStation and Sony recently as well. You're seeing their their people coming out more and more to discuss the games that are coming out and sort of get their community together a bit more as well.
Yeah,
and PlayStation's even gone the step beyond that, where they're doing PSX every December now, so they can literally speak directly to their fans, like in the same room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is a good approach too.
Definitely a positive.
Yeah.
We've got one that's coming up here that ties in with the last one, except it's 4 years later. So everybody will remember this moment because it became the meme sensation of its year, and they just didn't stop coming.
No.
It's My Body is Reggie. My body is Reggie.
So some people are like just like shaking their head like this is the worst thing ever. And there's people like us who are just like,
it was great.
run it into the ground.
My body is ready. So virtually everybody knows about this moment. For whatever reason, if you don't, Reggie said it before standing on a Wii Fit board. That's the general concept of it.
He's just saying my body is ready for the activity that's going to take place on the Wii Fit board. And this was like an awful year for Nintendo at E3.
It was awful.
Yeah, this is them going, okay, Wii Music, Wii Fit, Wii this, Wii that, just like all the stuff you think about Wii, and you just sort of bang your head into a wall, going, "No God."
Why did that ever happen? Yeah. And you know what? If the best thing to come out of that year was a meme that would go on for a very, very long time, which it has, you still see it in comment sections today, whether it's regarding Nintendo or anything, I guess.
Oh, I can't wait for this year's E3. My body is ready.
God, I can't wait for the Spyro HD Remaster Collection. My body is ready.
I can't wait for Nintendo Labo.
My body is ready.
It's so ready.
Just rolling in your Labo kit.
Oh, I'm ready.
We made enough fun. Made enough fun of the Labo on last week's skit.
And just like, I don't know how many like terrible YouTube songs we've listened to. Just like we've remixed "My Body Is Ready."
Yep, I had one in while I was writing.
Yeah, because my body's ready. You can just quickly type it in. And...
My body is ready.
All right.
It was, if it was going to be a bad year, something good might as well have came out of it, right? So it's going to mean that last us over a decade.
Well, I tell you what, Bryce, my body is certainly ready for this year's E3.
It is. It is 100% certainly ready for this E3 that is upcoming. But we'll talk about more of that in a second. We've got one last thing on this list. One more. And that is the announcement of the Nintendo Revolution.
Yes. This is when I've sort of first started actually paying attention to games news and E3 in general. Just when Iwata announced at the end of the press conference Nintendo Revolution, he held up the black box, which pretty much did look like the final Wii.
It did.
Yeah.
Pretty much 100% was a final Wii,
which is actually pretty rare considering like prototypes of consoles. To actually look at it and be like, oh, it doesn't look like it's got any different edges or buttons or anything. It actually looks very similar.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember when they showed off when they announced the DS looks a lot different when it actually launched.
Mm-hmm.
Like the prototype looked like a really slapped together
Lego.
Lego thing.
The thing is, and I mentioned this before we started, but I really don't remember that much of it. But I think now that I've thought about it, it's because it got overshadowed so much by the following year when they announced it was the Wii and they announced the controller and all that stuff sort of come into play. The cool thing about the Revolution E3 was that they talked about the virtual console games coming to it, and they talked about the backwards compatibility and how it had the potential to be an all-in-one system for all the previous consoles. And
that's something that hadn't actually been done before. Like virtual console, the idea of a virtual console back then was huge.
It was, yeah, it was a big thing. So from that perspective, it's kind of just like, well, that sounds awesome. But then the following year, we got a completely different name change to something that was so confusing to everyone.
Yeah, I still remember being at school. I was only 11 or 12.
We were very young.
I was only 11 years old at this time, and I remember I used to go to Nintendo's website every day and read their press release pretty much, and it just said, oh, it's the Wii. It's pronounced Wii, and it's spelled WII. I'm like, oh my god. Okay.
Like, what?
Fair enough. But why I remember this E3 so fondly is because I think 2003 or 4, that's when I wanted a GameCube, and that they were already old and whatever, and didn't get one at the time because the guy at EB Games said that they're crap, don't get a GameCube.
Oh yeah.
So I never got a GameCube, and I had this folder, and on the folder I had Nintendo Revolution written on the front, and I used to go to the library and get like all the information from forums, websites, whatever about what the Revolution could be.
You were a very keen boy.
Yeah, and I used to put it in this folder, and I had pictures of like faked like virtual reality headsets, like all this like information and speculation of what this thing could be. Because they said that they would show the controller at the next year's E3, so everyone's just wildly speculating what this controller is going to turn out to be for a year, for ages.
Yeah.
Then eventually they shown that like swinging tennis rackets and doing all the Wii Sports stuff.
Turned out to be a remote control. Yeah.
God, good E3.
Like I said, I think it just was overshadowed by the following year. It's the same thing that happened with Project Cafe too, though, when that turned into the Wii U. Like I remember vaguely that the only thing that was said about Project Cafe was there was a white slide, and I don't remember anything else they said about it.
Yeah, it looks like from the documents that came out about Project Cafe, it actually looks more like a traditional controller with a screen in the middle, not just a tablet. That was a surprise for me, seeing it like as a big, wide tablet-looking thing rather than just a controller with a little screen.
Yeah. But we all know what happened with Project Cafe and the Wii U, and obviously didn't surf out too well. Whereas the Wii rode tremendous success.
I haven't heard of it. Tell me more about this Wii.
Not sure. I'm not sure it resonated too much with the community that was already founded with Nintendo fans, but it definitely catered to newcomers big time. At least it was for us for a little bit too, I think. We felt like that Nintendo lost their touch there for a couple of years. Like, we just didn't feel like we were being catered as Nintendo fans for a little bit.
Yeah, for like, especially even with the DS, they went to the touch generations titles a lot more.
Yeah.
After New Super Mario Bros. Was such a tremendous success, they were just doing New Super Mario Bros. Games as well.
Yeah, that's it. It kind of just, it was a bit of a flip around, and it ended up that in favoritism of the new consumer, which, to be fair, sold a lot. A lot of Wii's got sold.
A lot of DS's got sold.
A lot of shovelware. It was really big on their marketing. Wii U was when they tried to turn around and give back to the Nintendo fan that had been missing out a little bit there from the Wii. Didn't work too well.
And they still tried to hold on to the success of the Wii too, which was the shovelware, which was the motion controls, which was the Wii name.
Yeah.
That's why ultimately they didn't know what they wanted to do, and it happened. That's what happened.
Yeah.
The Wii U happened.
Oh well. We get what we're given, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
we're in brighter times now. Let's not forget about the dark times.
We absolutely are. I am so excited for this year's E3. I want it to be next week, honestly. I want it here right now.
I think it's going to be killer.
What is it? 2 weeks? It's 2 weeks.
Well, technically 2 weeks from today, yes.
Okay, awesome. Oh yeah, because Microsoft starts it off that Monday for us.
It does, yep. And I'll be watching all three as I go.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then whatever's in between, I'll just sort of catch up on it.
Yeah, so we should try and watch them together. Probably not Microsoft's, because that's right in the morning at the start.
I feel like Microsoft's not going to have much this year anyway. They haven't had much for years. Like, for the couple previous years, they really haven't had a lot.
Last year they hadn't, but the year before that was quite good. We'll leave this. We'll leave our discussion. We'll get into housekeeping, Bryce. We'll let the... What?
Housekeeping.
Yeah, housekeeping.
All right.
Instead of just calling it plugs, a bit of housekeeping. End of the show, bit of housekeeping.
Shit, there you go, on the fly.
All right. So Bryce, this is our plan, and audience, this is our plan for the next week. So next week is our E3 predictions episode for what's going to happen Nintendo-wise.
This means we're punching a hole in the drywall and finding out what's inside.
Yeah, it's like a big pinata, but it's a house. The House of Mario. We're already in the House of Mario. I don't know. So next week is our E3 predictions episode, where we're going to be making predictions. We're going to have 7 predictions each. And then once that's all said and done, E3 is done, we're going to go back and we're going to see who is the winner of this extremely serious competition.
Extremely serious.
Extremely serious competition.
Feel free to join in, by the way.
Yes, and we're hoping some of you guys listening will join in. Leave your predictions or what you think might happen You can leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many predictions you want. We'll read them on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
not 100 though, because by the time you get to the 100th prediction, it'll be like, oh, Goonies, that'll be back. You're like, yeah, I don't know about that, guys. That's,
Look, I'll tell you what. We're leaving 7, correct?
mm-hmm.
I would like the audience to also leave 7. They don't have to go into very particular detail if they don't want to. We probably will with ours, but we'll give you a point if you get one right, and we'll tally it up in the end. We'll see how we go. See if you've beaten us, which is very much a possibility. And yeah, we'll go from there.
If you beat us, we'll send you a small bag of Smith's chips. Your choice of flavour.
Barbecue.
Wise choice, sir.
Cheese and onion.
Sorry. Cheese and onion is pretty good.
Cheese and onion.
And then for E3, we're going to be doing an episode straight after the Splatoon and Smash Brothers tournaments.
Yes.
Going to be talking about them, wrapping them up. Then also an episode straight after the digital presentation that week. So that will be about 2:00 our time. So that's gonna. Hopefully, we don't sound too sleepy. Let's put everyone to sleep.
No, I think we'll be pretty excited. I don't think it's going to be too boring this year. I think we've got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, we'll be on the energy drink and whatever.
Tweaking.
And then later that week, we'll do an episode summing up all of the E3 and how Nintendo went into relation to the other companies and third parties.
Yes. Yep. That sounds about correct. Sounds about what we want to do.
So that'll be 3 episodes of the House of Mario in this 1 week. If that's too much for you, I am sorry.
But you get a lot of us. Make sure you get your phones ready at or whatever you're listening on ready at 3 a.m. to be like, damn, I'm waiting.
Yeah, so if in America, that will hit at like the middle of the day. If it's in Australia, it will be in the morning. And if you're in Europe, I actually don't know. It'll be probably during the day as well.
God knows with Europe. God knows.
God knows with Europe.
God knows with Europe. Europe, you're crazy.
You're crazy. Europe.
You're crazy. Oh, well.
I want to go to Europe.
Doesn't everyone? There's a lot of unique stuff in Europe.
Yeah.
We can go meet French Mario.
French Mario.
Yeah, let's go with that. Frenchio.
Frenchio. So you're Brycio when you want to go and see French Mario who's Frenchio.
Hoping he gives me a free baguette.
Well, what's Australian Mario? Maro.
Inside joke.
We have a boss called Maro. Also, I'll keep on forgetting iTunes review of the week, so we won't forget it this time. This week's iTunes review of the week is from Viva Ladil, who is a friend of ours over at the Explosion Network, and he gives us that wonderful 5 stars, and it's titled Mario. And he writes, Mario is my number 1 fave plumber, and this podcast is the best at talking about his job. Thank you very much for that warm review.
Yeah, Dell.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much. And if you would like to leave us a review on iTunes, I guess head over to iTunes. I guess it's there, isn't it? That makes sense.
Yeah, the good old iTunes.
I know it's a bit complicated to leave reviews on iTunes, but it definitely helps us. It makes us...
yeah.
It gives us feedback about what's good and bad about what we're doing, and also it does help with the statistics within iTunes. However that works. I'm not a physicist, all right?
Physicist.
And if you're not able to do that because you're not an Apple user or you don't use iTunes, word of mouth is great. So
yeah, just
tap your mum on the shoulder, go, hey, this is a Nintendo podcast, and she'll go, what the hell are you on about, son?
Get out your cart phones between your tree houses and, you know, give each other the yelly.
The yelly. Absolutely.
Oi!
And this podcast is a part of the 8-Bit Collective. 10 Aussie podcasts coming together to talk goodness.
Talk goodness about whatever subject you might find interesting.
It's video games, news, Dungeons and Dragons, interview, whatever you may feel like listening to.
Want to dip your toes into.
The easiest way to follow that is Twitter by following the hashtag 8-Bit Collective.
Yes.
And Bryce, where can they find you on Twitter?
Where?
Yep.
At Bryce DeWitt.
At Bryce DeWitt. And you can find me at iDrewby on Twitter. And also, I'm going to add in I'm going to add into this Instagram because I started using Instagram again because
Look at this Insta boy.
Because why not?
All right.
It's lambing time on the farm at the moment, so you might see some pictures of some lambs
Farm on the farm.
on the farm.
All right.
Well, Bryce, it is now time for the end of the show, Nintendo Jukebox. And this week's Nintendo Jukebox is by Retro Spectre. It's a remix of Enter the Gungeon Boss Battle Beating.
Enter the Gungeon.
Yep. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening to us this week. We hope you have a good week, and we'll catch you later.
Next week, technically.